Now it's July 17th, but yesterday I taped a piece of track and field, which I had never seen. Um, and I'm looking not only at the beauty, but I'm looking at the body type that they're able to hold and maintain in this, like, people or civilization that doesn't seem to exist in New York in the 20th century. I mean, they might come visit, but I don't really see them living here or close enough, and any introductions to try to, like, whatever, at 10% blood population and trying to avoid the 90% that are trying to poison and harm my person at Magi, M-A-G-I. I then see not only a man who has a Swedish flag on his, or what they call Sweden here, I believe, on the left. Then I see somebody that has Estonia written on his, now here in Pet Cemetery, they said something about if you bury it in Estonia, it'll come home to ya. That's the exact quote. Then I noticed on X-Men, Eric, Eric for me is America, but, or the American Foster family, whoever they are. Somebody made Foster, a campaign for Foster is Australian for beer. But I don't know in Sweden and Magi territory if they think that Foster is beer, or beef, or roast beef. I mean, like, again, I got one cosmic brother that I know about. And then I have an 11. And I was already told to be a 12 at some comedy show the other night by some of the population that is local, that's willing to work with the surveillance team. So I'm watching this. They don't seem to be plagued by the same adipose tissue growth that I've been, at least that's in histology in America, that's what they teach in their universities, but I don't know outside in like the European region, or Eastern European, or Northeastern European, or North Central European. I don't even know how they classify that in corridors. But I thought that interesting because I didn't realize Estonia is Magi. I know Magi in Christianity is important. And then there is this reference to Eric being Magneto. And when I spell that out, it's M-A-G-I. In the first 4 letters, he looks awfully alike or akin to what's running track here when he stops and they actually do like a close-up of his face. I was like, my God, attractive people do exist still. They haven't all just disappeared, because in New York, it's like, I don't know where they all arrived from, but it is not at RH negative. It's not something I want to, like, digest or gaze upon for certain.
You're not in the lead, to be looking around that much.
Inexperience. When you look around in a heat, and coaches always say this, don't look just in one direction.
That's
he
right.
looked right and got passed on the left.
Yes.
So yes, as the rounds progress, you have to be more and more disciplined as you get to the finish line.
Is that what you say, Coach Bolton?
That's right.
Do they listen?
No.
One more heat of the men's 400 hurdles coming up.
The reference of the man that they featured on the camera or on the thing that I pressed record, but apparently it cut the Swedish or the Sweden runner off for some reason, and he actually is the one with the reference for that. And then there's the movie reference, which I'll grab real quick. Like, I see it being referenced, although in this X-Men movie, there's something about, they call Eric the murderer, but again, it's like, now Eric in America? Like, because Eric's built into the word America for this AMA, whatever's going on here, in building one, or having one nation, and then there's some, I don't know what's going on or developing, but it's really frightening not having any words from anything that even looks like it's, I mean, and then I met somebody once who said, and I know what his name is, he said that in the 100% of things, he was at 3%, was the number he was given, which at the time, I knew was significant. But he was talking, I believe, at monetary and power and share of ownership of something, which I'm not sure. But what I'm talking about is the blood that runs through my veins. There's only 10% of the living population that still has the same signature of sorts. Whether the expressed genes and the facial features look familial or not, I'm not clear, because I can't seem to get straight answers. I can't find an epigeneticist. I can't even find a regular geneticist. I can't even find a doctor who went through the trouble of an American medical school to learn all the words and all of the physiological interactions. I can't even find one of those to diagnose and to treat me properly with an end result of some health. It just seems like every time I go to the doctor, they make you more sick in America or in North America. It's really foul. Man just says, from the future. Although at this point, it seems like it's already in the past. A conversation between a theoretical Eric and a theoretical Charles, whoever they might be.
How did you lose them? The treatment for my spine affects my DNA.
You sacrificed your power so you could walk.
I sacrificed my power so that I could sleep. What do you know about it?
I lost my fair share.
Huh. Dry your eyes, Eric. Doesn't justify what you've done.
You've no idea what I've done.
I know that you took the things that mean the most to me.
Well, maybe you should have fought harder for them.
If you want to fight, Eric, I will give you a fight.
Let him go.
You abandoned me. You took her away and you abandoned me.
Angel. Azazel. Emma. Banshee.
Mutant brothers and sisters, all dead.
Countless others. Experimented on. Butchered.
Eric,
Where were you, Charles? We were supposed to protect them. Where were you when your own people needed you? Hiding. You and Hank, pretending to be something you're not.
Eric,
You abandoned us all.
I have to say, while in the white category of want to stand up for my own and give you like the cheerleaders support that a cosmic mother. See, here's the thing that I know about mutants and about celestial and about the solar system and about the universe and about the megaverse and the galaxy. I already know I own a very important space where space had you have creation inside space. I was created inside space on a very specific, definable point. And then my space opened up a definable space. And within that definable space, I have a connection here with somebody else who's important somewhere in the universe. So I know that that level of communication, that level of bloodline, that level of solar security and universal security, megaverse security and galactic security is highly sought after. Where I'm deficient in is finding my mark. My mark came for me originally. We walked around Guggenheim estate property in Long Island in Nassau County. He was mad as hell about something. He was mumbling. I was trying to follow him. He spoke English, but not really the whole English. He was talking about fingers, tails, and I'm like, he's like, your people haven't told you these things yet? And I said, no. And he's like, right, okay. Well, no, I just want to know what kind of humans you're or people you're around or your people are. He says, I already know my people and I'm doing whatever I'm doing for the two of us. So now that happened. So I know he's important. I know I'm important. I know my son is important. Where I'm lost is in this, why are we not being cared for? I mean, there's parts of the 90% that are being taken care of better than my 10% bloodline. That's actually, by solar system standards, should be 1%. For such a definable set. Perhaps 3%. Somewhere between the 1% to 3% is where I should be. But yet I'm being held like an animal in less than, I mean, like substandard. Something you'd expect in the 90%. At some level.
So you were always an asshole.
I take it we're best buddies in the future.
I spent a lot of years trying to bring you down, bub.
How's that work out for you?
You're like me. You're a survivor. Want to pick all that shit up?
I've only gone to one trip to buy cigars with a very important person. I think it was at the Chelsea Piers or somewhere in Manhattan that I was unfamiliar with, but he knew. His father had sent us. He left me outside and then disappeared. I couldn't find him. I just waited. And then he returned at some point. Furthest trip we took together. It's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza. It's Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, Galaxy is broken. It's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361.